You know it's coming from Section 122, but it's time for the update. Yeah! What's up, everybody? This is Jude from Section 122 and ArgosEndzone.com, getting you ready for Week 5 action. I swear it's Week 5, not Week 6. It feels like a bye week because the Argos are playing on a Tuesday night. Because, of course, you think football when it's Tuesday. Anyways, their last game was on a Friday night against Winnipeg. Big win for the Double Blue, but at a price. Ricky Ray had his knee injured. Chad Kacker could be gone to 4 to 6 weeks. Shout out to Ricky Ray, though. CFL record against the Blue Bombers with a 95% completion percentage prior to the injury. Just an amazing performance. If you didn't see it, oh, cripes, did you miss out on a game. That deep post was working to perfection. And just on a side note, the one incompletion, it was a drop. I mean, the ball was right there. But moving on. Tons of things have happened since the last time I've had a chance to bore you with all this stuff. Brandon Isaac was released. The defensive captain was released out of nowhere. You go back and check out the article, Oh Captain, My Captain, Argonauts released Brandon Isaac on ArgosEndzone.com. It's just kind of an encompassing, it's not really an opinion, just a statement of what's going on, comparing it to the Corey Bloyd release of last year. Speaking of which, with Kackert out, there was some fans hyping up Corey Boyd, trying to bring him back into the Double Blue. He is in Toronto. He is physically ready to play. There's been absolutely no indication from the Argos side that they are going to be pursuing Corey Boyd. If the injury runs along even longer, though, than expected, or if the running game falters, we'll see how it goes. I'm a Corey Boyd fan. What the guy does on the field, he's clearly got a passion for the game. I want to see him playing pro football somewhere. I'd much rather see it in Toronto, but wherever the guy can get in, I think he deserves another chance, but what do I know? So, I think what you're going to see here this time around, and we don't know if Ricky Ray is playing this week or not. They've announced that Zach Collaros will start if Ricky Ray is not ready to go. This could play to the advantage of the Argos because the BC Lions don't know which quarterback to prepare for. Of course, Ricky Ray known for that deep ball. Fantastic. But Collaros has been successful every time he's had a chance to play the game this last year and a bit. So he can make stuff happen with his legs. He's a lot more mobile. Not taking away with Ricky Ray, because I believe he's got 2 rushing touchdowns on the season so far. But Collaros can move around in the pocket. He's elusive. It could be very interesting, and it could give the Argos an advantage. Now, that being said, you've got 2 offensive starters in your backfield without a lot of game experience. You have a tendency to simplify the game, roll it back a little bit. So you've got to take advantage of the BC Lions' very, very aggressive front 7. And so that's going to involve screens and counter plays, reverses. You've got to take advantage, make them overcommit. So keep an eye out for Andre Dury and Chad Owens this week. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on both of them all the time, but I think they're both going to play a big part in this offense as they take advantage of that underneath stuff and some misdirection and over pursuing. So keep an eye on both of them. Defense side of the ball, they haven't announced who's going to start in place of Brandon Isaac, so you're going to see some guys rotating through on that outside linebacker position, which means you're going to see Marcus Ball and McCune step up in a big, big way, as they always do. I think you're going to see some big, big collisions. Harris didn't take the beating I thought he was going to the last time they met out in BC a couple weeks ago, so watch for those guys to get up and say hi to Mr. Harris a little more aggressively than they had the opportunity last week. But I think this is going to be the Pat Watkins week. I don't know if it's a touchdown or if it's an interception or if it's a fumble, but he is going to cause a turnover this week. Just throwing it out there. I think that's the guy to watch. So, again, offense, keep an eye on Andre Dury, Chad Owens, you're always watching the Flying Hawaiian. Defense, it's a Pat Watkins week. Just throwing it out there. Who should you be following this week? Well, of course you should be following the Toronto Argonauts. You got to follow at Argonauts, the band at the Dome that cheer on your Argos. If you haven't heard the fight song, what's wrong with you? Go to ArgosEndzone.com and do a search under audio, and you'll get a great bit of the Argos fight song from 1967. I would love to see that back. Bring back that type of atmosphere in the Dome. Regardless, the notes are playing before, during, and after the game. You can find them all over inside and outside the Dome. They do put on a great show. It just adds to that whole atmosphere. Quite frankly, I would like to see them in 122 for the entire game, but that's just me being greedy. They rotate around through the stadium on the 100th level concourse. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. So for this game, again, because we don't know who's starting at quarterback, it could go either way. BC, of course, is a really talented team. I think, obviously Saskatchewan is now 5-0 out west, but BC is, in my opinion, has got to be the number 2 team out west, so they can really make things happen on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to go with a more conservative prediction this time around, and I'm going to say that the Double Blue come out on top with a 28-17. 28-18. You know me, there's always a rouge. 28-18. If you're going to put money on that, then don't blame me if it goes wrong, because I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. But that's what came to me. Alrighty? So, hopefully see you. Remember, it's Tuesday night, not on the weekend. It's goofy, I understand. But, yeah, check it out. What else is there to do on a Tuesday night in Toronto? Exactly. So, from 122 on ArgosEndzone.com, this is Jube saying we ride the rail, and we ride it hard.